Hey everybody, welcome to the Altered Beast review for the Sega Genesis. This game was originally an arcade game, but then ported over to the Sega Genesis, and it was one of the first games that came out for the Genesis, and it was free, and it was really just meant to show off the capabilities of the game console.
So, first thing you probably notice is that the graphics are pretty good for 1989, when this came out, and they were pretty detailed, but they weren't as good as the arcade. But for a home console, it's pretty revolutionary. And the controls in this game though, they can be a little stiff at times, just a little bit. But to compensate for that, you have some pretty cool moves. You can just punch and kick, and it doesn't sound very exciting, but it's pretty cool when you see it because you're just these big buff guys and punching and kicking the crap out of these zombies. It's just really fun.
Yeah, so there's not really much story to this game. Really, in the beginning of the game, the god Zeus rises you from the dead, and you come out of, I think they're coffins or blocks of something, and then you start just going around and random stuff is attacking you, and there's these things that are floating around. They're sort of these purple balls with lightning bolts through them, and they just float around the screen, sort of in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, the final move ball, sort of like that. And if you get the first one, they all look the same. The first one, you get a little stronger and a little more buff. The second one, you're super buff, like Arnold Schwarzenegger buff. And then the third one, you actually turn into a beast, like a wolf or a bear or even a dragon.
Yeah, and but the levels are kind of short. They're short, and it won't take you more than 5 minutes for one level. Maybe on single player it'll take you longer, but on two player they're pretty short, and there's only a couple of them, like maybe 5 or something. But at the end of each level, you fight a boss, and each boss is pretty cool and has a different strategy to beat. And after you kill the boss, this guy comes, this floating head, or I don't even know what it is, but he comes and takes your powers away, which is kind of annoying, because then you have to start over and get all of them back again, but I don't know.
I think the reason why they did that is so it's not just you already have, you're already super in the beginning of the game, because it would be way too easy. Because you have to actually kill the enemies attacking you to get these, so sort of you need to try and attack as many enemies as you need to actually win the game.
Yeah, plus it allows for more power-ups, different types of altered beasts you can turn into, like you said, the dragon, the wolf, and the bear. So the main innovation that made this game special back in 1989 was that you could turn into the beast, and that was pretty cool. But today that coolness is sort of it's not as cool as anymore, because a lot of games are like this, where you can turn into different monsters, but it's still pretty fun to play as them.
Yeah, or transform into other sort of things.
Yeah.
Also, one of my favorite parts about this game is the sound. Not really the sound effects, more of just when people talk. When in the very beginning of the game, you might have noticed Zeus is rise from your grave, and that's just really cool. It's just so retro. It's just such a great thing that they added it to, since it was these are one of the first games to ever have people talking in it.
Yeah, it's really hard to do voices on 16-bit systems too.
Yeah.
But other sound effects, besides the voice work, the voiceovers can be kind of dull. When you're a dragon, you do these lightning. When you do this lightning attack, it does this sound effect that can get annoying, because you're gonna be doing it a lot.
It's sort of an electrical sound, but it's not that annoying. It's just it gets annoying after you do it 100 times.
Yeah.
So if you're not willing to buy a Genesis, or you don't have a Genesis and you don't want to find the game on eBay, and I'm sure it's not that expensive. I'm sure you could also find it on Amazon, or you don't want to buy the game cabinet, you could always go on WiiWare under Virtual Console Sega Genesis and buy the game for 800 Wii points, or that's really
$8.
Yeah, $8. I almost said $800. And I would not recommend this game if you have not many friends, like friends who come over to your house. You need people to play this game, or else you're just like playing by yourself and it's not really that fun and enjoyable.
Yeah, the multiplayer is mainly like the only thing you'll probably be doing, and it's the only really fun part, because single player, you're just on your own. And this game is kind of funny. I just thought it was funny because like when you're playing, you just kind of laugh at things, like little things, like when you turn buff. It's just funny because
you're wearing nothing but your underwear.
Yeah, and again the voiceovers, like those are just like, they're even funny. They're just kind of like they don't really scare you like they try, but they just like, you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so like we said before, it wouldn't be a good idea to get this game if you don't have anybody to play it with, but definitely if you have like people who come over to your place a lot to play video games, and if you just like want to introduce this game to them, and I don't know, they might like it. It might be a really good idea. So yeah, like I said, pick it up on Virtual Console if you'd like. So
that's our review of Altered Beast. Hope you enjoyed. Happy gaming.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Yeah, see ya everybody. That was good, right?
Rise from your grave.